You might recall my earlier video where I shared with you some Disneyland maps. It was really about Disneyland souvenir pictorials, and I hope you have a chance to watch that video if you haven't seen it already. But this is from, well, probably last year, Christmas time. And these guide maps are these very nice carry-around maps. But today we're going to talk about maps of a different sort. And before we get started on that, I just wanted to remind everybody that this is December 1st of 2020, so you only have a month in which to order your Gold membership in D23. And I'm sure you're going to want the gift this year because the 2020 Gold Member Kit is the D23 Fantastic Worlds Adventure Kit. And that includes a Fantastic Worlds map. It's described, rightly so, as epic because it depicts more than 250 places, vehicles, and characters, representing more than 150 films, television shows, and theme park locations, all created by Disney or Pixar. It pays tribute to the fun maps of the past and was designed by Brian Mullen. And this map depicts so many places that we visit in Disney Fantasy. And I do have to say that in full disclosure, I helped curate the map and the places that were chosen. I had a little something to do with it, thanks to Justin Arthur of D23. And actually, that's Justin holding the map in these photos. I'd know him anywhere, even from the back. And that brings us back to the subject of today's video. As I mentioned, the fun maps that were created for Disneyland Park specifically. So what is a fun map? They are these large maps that were sold at Disneyland that people could take home and sometimes even frame, but certainly pore over and remember their trip and perhaps plan for their next one. And I have one right here. We'll come back to this map, but I believe this was created in circa 2006. Here's a Sketches article that I wrote all about the fun maps called Mapping the Magic Kingdom. The first ones were created by Disney legend Sam McKim, and the very first one is seen here from 1958. So this is actually the rarest of them because it was later in 1958 that the map was revised. So this was not on sale or available for very long. And that's because they wanted to add in the Matterhorn and the other Tomorrowland attractions that were coming in 1959. And if we take a close look at this map, we see not the Matterhorn, but Snow Mountain, which was really just this slope holding up the pylons for the Skyway. And it seemed like a good place to put a mountain. Thanks to the Imagineers, under the guidance of Walt Disney, the Matterhorn arose. So the second map, also issued in 1958, featured the Matterhorn. The fun maps had this wonderful border around it with the Disney characters, and new ones were added over the years, of course. And these were taken mostly from model sheets, but sometimes drawn by Disney artists turned Imagineers, such as Exitencio and Bill Justice. But another fun thing about the fun maps is that they included all these little details. In addition to signifying the different attractions, there were also little touches such as the bird over here, the band playing in the pub, a police officer on Main Street, and all kinds of great details. Perhaps most fascinating is we have such future attractions that were never created: Edison Square and Liberty Street. And also over here in Frontierland, because New Orleans Square did not exist yet, we have the Haunted Mansion. Now that edifice wouldn't even be built until 1962, and then the attraction wouldn't open until 1969. And yet we certainly see that this was a priority of Walt to include it here on the map so people could start looking forward to, ooh, the Haunted Mansion, what could that be? That'll be so much fun. There's all kinds of little details to pore over, and this was true of all the fun maps that were created over the years. As I mentioned, the second map included Matterhorn Mountain, and it also had an updated Frontierland with True Life Adventure areas Bear Country and Beaver Valley and the Living Desert. The next map came in 1961, It has a pink border, and it saw the addition of the third monorail running to the Disneyland Hotel. The 1962 map now adds New Orleans Square as a future attraction that wouldn't open until 1966, and a major new section was added to Adventureland's Jungle Cruise with the sacred bathing pool of the elephants, as well as Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room and the Swiss Family Treehouse. Babes in Toyland was added to the Main Street Opera House. The 1964 map, which came next, has a green border. There are actually not that many changes to that particular map. This was followed by a new one in 1964, also with a green border, and a future attraction of Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln was added to the Opera House. Because of the great success of the New York World's Fair, Mr. Lincoln would be arriving in 1966. And speaking of 1966, another new map was created, adding the It's a Small World attraction to Fantasyland. More of these very fun charts were created throughout the 70s, and they always emphasize such major new attractions as the Country Bears, America Sings, America on Parade. And now I would like to show you some fun maps from my own collection. I don't really have any of the true vintage ones, not even reproductions, but I do have these actual fun maps. So I'm going to try to open it up, as large as they are, to show you. This one is from 1979, and the emphasis was on Big Thunder Mountain, because that, of course, opened in 1979. So let's take a look. See, this is really fun, and no wonder it's called a fun map. And it kind of has this rustic border, which I think goes along with Big Thunder Mountain. So another element of the fun maps, as far as I know, they all included Walt Disney's words of dedication from opening day in 1955, and the earlier maps even included Walt's face, and I think we'll see some more of that later. Now, let's see, I want to make sure this is open all the way. Yes, it is. And on this side, we see, really emphasized here, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, really drawing the attention of all guests to that brand new major attraction. Here is another one from my own collection. This is from the 45th anniversary of Disneyland, which would have been the year 2000. As you can see here, it says Disneyland 45 Years of Magic. Really helps us date it. And of course, we see such major additions as Mickey's Toontown up here. The maps constantly being adapted and changed to Disneyland's changes. When Space Mountain was added in 1977, we always see this spaceship crashing out of Space Mountain and zooming into orbit. Really fun and cool. And again, we have Walt's words of dedication and his face up here. Really wonderful, reminding people that this is Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom, part of the fun map. Now this one is from Disney's 50th in 2005, and it's easy to see that it has the 50th anniversary logo for the happiest homecoming on Earth. That was the title of the celebration for that year, which was a global celebration for all Disney parks worldwide. We have such additions as the Indiana Jones Adventure, which was added in 1995. Star Tours, which also has the spaceship zooming out of Star Tours, like Space Mountain, heading to the outer reaches of a galaxy far, far away. So I pointed out this map over here earlier, and I believe it's from about 2006, because this fun map over here is essentially the same as the fun map here. All they basically did was take out this large 50th anniversary logo and replace it with a more generic Disneyland Park logo featuring the symbol of Walt Disney's Magic Kingdom, Tinkerbell. Basically, that's it. And this seems to have been done quite a bit after these big anniversaries, because the anniversary celebration was over, yet Disney still wanted the maps to be available. So they just took off the logo, put on a more generic Disneyland logo, and voila, it was another map for collectors and guests of all kinds to take home. Now, this map came out in 2001, and one reason we can tell is that Atlantis is on here, down at the bottom. We can see Milo. He's been added to the border of Disney characters. I don't know if you can see me, but hopefully you can see the map. But I'm still here. One map that I held back for last is the fun map from 1995, the 40th anniversary of Disney, to tie in with the premiere of Indiana Jones Adventure. The slogan or theme for that celebration that year was 40 Years of Adventure. And one reason I really treasure this particular map is because it contains an error, and I believe it was quickly reprinted, so this version's pretty rare. But what is the error? Well, right up here with good old Walt, we have his famous dedication: "To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land." As I said, and as we all know, that's from opening day, July 15th, 1955. Wait a minute. It's July 17th, but this says July 15th. So this was only available for a short time before that error was caught, and it was reprinted. It's one reason I enjoy having this, because all collectors like errors, don't they? Kind of makes it very special, or you can look at it that way. You can see this map in this wonderful book, which was just published a couple years ago, Maps of the Disney Parks. Look at this, how great this is, from Disney Editions. The subtitle is Charting 60 Years from California to Shanghai. Now, not to your surprise, most of the art inside came from the vaults of the Walt Disney Imagineering Art Library. And my friend Vanessa Hunt is one of the researchers there, and she curated all this wonderful art. And as the subtitle indicates, this covers all Disney parks all around the world. So this book, to me, is much more valuable than one of these maps, because this book contains almost every map of different kinds, as well as the fun maps. For example, here's Tom Sawyer Island from 1957. And as I said, the Disneyland fun maps are inside, as well as these maps for the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World and the Magic Kingdom's very own fun map. So I hope you've enjoyed this brief guided tour through some of the Disneyland fun maps. And if you did, I hope you will both like and subscribe, because we have some really fun videos coming up. And you'll want to make sure that you join us next time, when we'll see some rare clips from the Alan Brady Show, featuring Sergei Karpetna, Willie Cook, and Billy the Bird, and special guest star, the 2,000-year-old man. See you then.